Okay, Dan Bell.
Good evening. Can you hear me okay?
We can.
Thank you, Mayor and Councilors. I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you this evening. I did submit some written comments myself and the neighbors that should have been in your council packet. I'll give you just a moment to refer to those if you need to. I just wanted to reiterate some of the points that were in that letter. I last spoke to you in November about a proposed development called Adams Creek Co-housing, which was in site plan review appeal process. The council denied that appeal and issued an order in late December to go ahead with the development of that project. And I'm writing to you, or talking to you this evening because we received a letter from Adams Creek Co-housing back in May that raised some significant questions for us. The city council conditions with the site plan review included 72 different conditions, including 2 of particular importance. One, to build a sidewalk along Eugene Street and other offsite improvements along Sherman Avenue. In the letter that we received from Adams Creek Co-housing, they had notified us that they were seeking to get the requirement to put a sidewalk along Eugene Street waived. That immediately caused concern, especially for those of us on Eugene Street, about safety and public benefit with this new large development going in at the end of what is now a very quiet, short, dead-end street. I'm here to talk to you tonight real quickly about both the substance and the process of this request. Substantively, we're very concerned about safety issues along Eugene Street with the elimination of the sidewalk. Eugene Street is a 30-foot paved right-of-way with parallel parking on either side, leaving about 18 feet or so of traveled corridor. There's no sidewalk on either side of the road at this point. And to not build a sidewalk would require two-way vehicle traffic, bicycles, pedestrians, people in mobility devices to use the roadway as their pathway from this new development out to 17th Avenue. We feel like that is a generally unsafe condition and is something that we're very concerned about for both our own families as well as the new residents and visitors of this development. Secondly, we just wanted to talk quickly about process. Looking at the record and in conversations with the developer, they have told me that they see a change in the waiver of the Eugene Street sidewalk requirement to be a minor revision to a site plan amendment. And they've already begun working with city departments on language to that effect. And I'm here to ask you to not let that happen behind closed doors, to give us the chance to have an open hearing and hear the public benefits of a proposed alternative, and let the residents of Eugene Street and you, the council, who adopted this resolution and made this order, an opportunity to weigh in on whether or not this important public works project should be part of Adams Creek Co-housing's development. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak with you, and I hope you'll take my words to heart.
Thank you, Dan. Our city attorney, because this is a land use issue, he's going to address this tonight.
Thank you, Mayor. This is sort of a strange deal because, as you know, this application went through the land use process in your code and as dictated by state law. It's pretty extensive, lots and lots and lots of public input. And I understand there have been discussions between the applicant's design engineer and the city engineer over how to comply with these conditions. And an application to modify has not yet been submitted. So if and when it is submitted, it will be subject to the full public process that's dictated by state law. And it would and could eventually come to you as a quasi-judicial matter. So my recommendation to you is to not read what Mr. Bell has submitted, but rather wait and see if an application comes to you on appeal, in which case you would be a quasi-judicial decision maker, and you would have to at that point disclose that you read the contents of this letter. And so I see this sort of as a preemptive move by the neighbors to kind of get their oar in the water before an application is even filed. We don't know what it's going to look like. As I understand it, it could have a number of moving parts, and I don't know what it would look like, but we'll know when an application is submitted, and it'll go through the required process. So this would be technically an ex parte contact if this does come before you.
So we shouldn't be discussing it.
I would recommend you not read what Mr. Bell has submitted. Wait for an application to be submitted. It'll follow the required process, and even Mr. Bell is guessing what it's going to look like.
Okay,
Any questions?
anyone here have questions for
Stand
city
by.
attorney?
Just
Okay,
stand by.
okay, thank you.